Good morning, friends. Welcome to Stress Management Part 57. Ill effects of smoking both on smokers and non-smokers. Last week in Part 56, we have seen the effects of processed food items and ready-to-eat items. Due to economic and family obligations, even our ladies are now forced to work and earn. In the process, we depend heavily on processed and ready-to-eat food. Basically, we need to understand one thing. Any food item that is prepared begins to decay after 8 to 10 hours. With refrigeration and processed food, we remove the moisture and extend the period of decay from 8 hours to 2 days or even 3 days. We have also seen that miscreants use narcotic drugs in the preparation of ice cream and chocolates and sweets consumed mainly by children, particularly school children, to boost their illegal income. So the only remedy is we need to move away from fast food, processed food and come back to our traditional food, particularly to save the health of our next generation. Now, today in part 57, we will see the effects of smoking both on smokers as well as non-smokers. The one thing that is going to happen 100% without any exception when you light a cigarette is, number one, 100% sure that cigarette will become an ash. The next 100% what is sure is the smoker will become ash. The only question is when it happens. The time period only decides the difference between a smoker and non-smoker. But the smokers also contribute for the ill effects of non-smokers in their smoking also. Let us see how this habit develops. During childhood days, the first motivating factor or impulse is curiosity. When the children see the adults smoking a cigarette and smoke coming from their mouth and nostrils, they are also tempted to venture into that particular habit. And when they go for the school and even college days, many of us even tempt them by giving a cigarette for playful activity. So they are tempted from the childhood, and when they start schooling and college days, they try to satisfy this curiosity by lighting a cigarette or bidi. Now, when the first they inhale, it affects them very badly with a severe cough. So, if that severity is more, then many of them stop further. But what happens is, friends and other people, they encourage them, giving them, this is the experience with all the people, there is nothing wrong. And they slowly start developing this habit into a dreadful habit. This smoking does not leave any part of your body because it affects everything right from head to toe. All parts are affected equally and the damage is very severe in the case of lungs. In fact, recently a research was done and the video, they have put a lighted cigarette in a bottle and the smoke which filtered inside, they found that the filter paper, the stain on the filter paper was extremely bad just by lighting the cigarette. So the smoke and the nicotine that causes tremendous effect and leads to lung cancer in the long run. The severity warning comes from a particular cough called as smoker's cough, particularly in night time when they sleep during 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock. Without their knowledge, they cough heavily and the extent of damage to your lungs starts from their severe coughing which the family members are aware of it. Please kindly remember, once this severe coughing or called as the smoker's coughing starts in the night time, that is the starting day or count the days from that day onwards. It only decides how quickly or how long you are going to be alive. And the thing is, when this happens, they reach a prime life period where they start enjoying the life with their grandchildren. Now, how this affects us. And also one thing we all need to remember, we show affection to our children just by hugging and kissing. And the bad smell that comes out of the mouth of the smokers is also one of the contributing factors that affects the health of non-smokers, particularly children. We cannot avoid kissing our children, but the smell that emanates from that, in fact, even the adult non-smokers are sometimes particularly, they don't like it and it causes vomiting and other symptoms in them. So we have to be very careful that this smoking affects not only the individual but also all the family members, particularly young children in the house. So we need to stop this habit. Not only that, number of stories have come that smokers, when they sleep, they have even burnt their mattresses and also their houses because those stuff while sleeping and smoking. So how to come out of this habit? Let us see. Now another reason which is very important is, it is often said that these smokers or people who have suppressed their emotions from childhood, their depressions, childhood stress and tension, they have suppressed, and when they started smoking, trying to form rings while exhaling the smoke. So many smokers, when they were in deep thinking, they start putting the rings after rings, thinking that all their problems can be captured within that rings. So how to come out of this dreadful habit? Let us see. Now, as soon as you buy a cigarette packet, just cut each cigarette into 2 pieces, exactly 2 pieces. That means you are making a packet of 10 cigarettes into 20 cigarettes. And number 2, keep the cigarette without lighting as much as possible, and every time when you feel like inhaling or when you feel like smoking, just keep the unlighted cigarette to taste the smell of that tobacco. The third possible method is just light the cigarette but don't inhale. And every small piece, that half piece, try to inhale only 2 to 3 times maximum, because the last puff is very important, because they take, whenever you see a smoker, they will take a long inhale as a last puff. So now what you think, within this 1 to 3 puff, don't go to the extreme. Slowly reduce from 3 to 2, 2 to 1, and take a last puff in the first puff itself, so that we are now reducing the number of cigarettes from 10, and psychologically you have a feeling that you are taking 20 cigarettes. Number 2, the number of times you use for inhaling the cigarette also gets reduced, because you are taking only 2 or 3 times. When you slowly reduce it, now you go to the 4th step. That 4th step is unlighted cigarette you try to practice. Then try to substitute cigarette with pencil or any other object. Whenever you feel like smoking, just take that pencil, just keep a puff like that. When you do it 3-2 times, psychologically you have a feeling as if you are smoking. The 5th way is, try to keep your 2 fingers in smoking condition and try to do it as if you are smoking. If you do this in a long way, in a continuous way for 2 or 3 months, slowly you can get rid of this dreadful habit. But please remember, never take any substitute like pan parag or betel leaf or your chewing gum or any other substitute to get rid of this smoking, because you will be falling from one pit to the other. One is, this may eventually prove from the frying pan you have jumped into the fire itself directly in the case of substitutes. So never take any substitute, slowly come out of. Always think that whenever you are smoking the life of your grandchildren or your own children. When you think, visualize it, then you will slowly, because the smokers cough. When they hear silently in the midnight the smokers cough, their heart gets bleeding, because it will show the extent of damage to your lungs. and when you want to enjoy life, when you want to be with the grandchildren, you will regret smoking, but you will not have time to come out of the habit. So now this is whatever day, today is the day to come out of smoking. Means decide today and slowly take it so that you can come out of the will's power into with your willpower. We need to get rid of this will's power which has got hold of us for so many years, but with sheer willpower you can achieve anything. This nicotine effect, and never once you have left smoking, whoever offers a cigarette later on, never touch that cigarette. Have total control and say, I do not want to smoke my family into ash. So this is absolutely necessary that you have to get control of yourself and you alone. When you realize the damage it is not only causing to you but also to the society, and in particular your children and grandchildren and your spouse, it will definitely, because they have sacrificed their life. Your spouse has sacrificed her life. But the shocking news is that even young girls have started smoking without realizing that it is going to affect their uterus in a great extent. Thereby, whatever the future generation it is going to come out of their little tummy, it is going to be a mummy and not a beautiful child. Please remember, cigarette is capable of doing it. Never think it is late to leave this habit, because this habit will make you to someone to call you as late so and so. So please stop this habit today itself. In next week, in part 58, we will see how alcohol controls us and the effects of alcohol in individual and whole family. Thank you very much. Have a good day.